The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word, and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word, and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one.
Before the earth took shape, new sound of sight. The creator sliced the time in the day and night. He breathed through void till the ether stirred, then sent angels and prophets to teach his word. Motion, notion, devotion aligned, encoded design in the spine of time. Wind wrote signs on the breath of the prime. S intertwined with the flesh of the line. Quick and the killer, conceiver entwined. Dual divine, the ether confined. Two entities birthed, corpor and S. Life compressed in the vortex nest. Spirit in the mist, physics resist. Matter persist in Jehovah's fist. Dust kiss flame, play became twist. Anatomy gift from the infinite list. Male and female named through air. EOE, that sacred blare. Not beast, not star. Not anywhere but the whisper of wind as a builder's prayer. Vortex speak, the sequence hum, the life resume. From void to bloom, to eat the groom, creation's womb. Every tune in the flames plume, a living rune. If your soul need food, here's what you consume.
The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one.
Three states of worlds I made, corporeal terrain, an atmosphere and chain to Etherian planes. Ether the pure, obscure domain. The ghost of light, free the soul from shame. Atmosphere, field and flow. AGA, nebula glow. Currents collide where the comets go. Gravity bend with the vortices, so sound became law. Law gave sight, and every soul aligned in Jehovah's light. His love gave reason and the heart retune. If your body need rest, here's the text to consume.
The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one.
Before the clay inhaled the spark, the plan was grand. See moose spun pulse through the dust of man. Ether expand to where the blueprint ran. Spirit tied to flesh by Jehovah's hand. Angels descended, intelligent warm. Walked with Azu where the light was born. Heaven breathed with a mortal form. Lord met love and the veil was torn. The seed took root in the coil's perfume. Sense evolved under the sun and the moon. Time broke the sleep of a deep commune. And now man learns pattern from teeth to spoon. From breath to balance, the most high drop clues. From speech and sequence, the spirit world moved. From page to prophecy through mahogany hues. If your mind need peace, here's the key to consume.
The book of Jehovah, symmetry sung. Heard his word and the world begun. Motion one, devotion sprung. Jehovah reigns for the chosen, the only one. The book of Jehovah.
Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change. Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change.
Give us 60 seconds, we'll tilt your skylight on the inside where the old fears lie. Soul get tuned like a harp in the hand. Ethereal notes pull you out of quicksand. You'll feel your breath meet the ever one. Old debt shrink when the true work's begun. Angelic math, not just prayers on repeat. It's knowledge that makes the broken complete. A calm in the chest, a knowing like dawn. Chains on the heart, one by one. You learn to keep company with the light. Make your shadow kneel, make your courage right.
Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change. Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change.
We'll give you maps of the heavens and streets. How thought builds worlds and how wisdom meets the seat. Cosmic bookkeeping, cause and reply. Why the small decisions reshape the sky. Learn the language where phenomena speak. Why cycles repeat and what makes men weak. History flips when you read by the beam. What looks like chaos is a finer scheme. You read the signs that the blinded miss. Turn rumor to law, turn chance into bliss. Mental tools, not just scripture and chant, but ways to think, to reason, the plan.
Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change. Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change.
Walk out the room and your steps rearrange. Everything practical, start to exchange. Decision become less of a blindfold toss. You move like a bishop and not like a lost horse. Relationships heal when you talk from the sun. Anger grows quiet, new labor's begun. Money, time, they bow to a clearer mind. Choices get cheaper when the truth you find. You carry a lamp for the road ahead. Turn timid whispers into thunder said. Not just faith of facts, a living combined. Spirit enlightened, intellect refined.
Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change. Can we teach for a minute? Jehovah's called your name. If we teach and you listen, everything is gonna change. Can we teach? Can we teach? Can we teach? Can we?
Right back like I left something. It's your hostess with the mostest, holding that fire like a. Whoa. Okay. Right back like I left something. Man. It's your hostess with the mostest, holding that fire like a roach clip. Your noggin, your nerve. Fresh off of that curb jelly, jamming preserves. Dang. What's going on, y'all? We about to go into the purported 2026 year. You know what I mean? We ain't even gonna get into the arguments of, you dig what I'm saying, what date it really is, and you dig what I'm saying, and all that. But you know, by the Gregorian calendar and by the sun, you know, we it's supposed to be New Year's Eve. Okay. Old Year's Day and New Year's Day. You dig what I'm talking about? This is New Year's Day Eve. Salute to y'all. Excuse me. You know, I used to be turned back in the days. Like this is like the New Year's party was kind of like bigger than all the parties, because you know, you starting off your New Year, you kind of want to come in turning up. They say, you know, you start your New Year off like you go in your year, turning up. So, you know what I mean? I used to really go for it. I ain't going front. I used to really go for it. Now I'm like an old fogey. Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? My youngsters would just say, you just old, Papa. I just sit down somewhere. You dig what I'm talking about? You doing too much. That's what they tell me nowadays. You doing too much. So you dig what I'm saying? Sometimes Papa just gotta remember he gotta stay in his own lane. You dig what I'm saying? You ain't 25 no more, Papa. You got to think about what's going on. Remember, you still got bills to pay, nigga. You dig what I'm talking about? The game didn't change. You dig what I'm talking about? The sobering reality called life. You dig what I'm talking about? It will zap your fun sometimes. No, but shout out to everybody who going out there to have a good old time tonight. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going ahead, kick it in the crib tonight. I don't drink no way. So, not really no way. And like coffee is my beer. You dig what I'm saying? So I'm not like everybody else, but I never been like everybody else. You dig what I'm saying? When they was kind of weak, I was going extra hard. Huh? And when I got weak, you dig what I'm talking about? Them lessons changed me. You dig what I'm talking about? Life will put you in a real humbling position sometimes. You dig what I'm talking about? And I got tested in 2025. This was a tough year, man. Tough year. I just had to show up for a year-end review. You dig what I'm saying? It ain't even, sometimes one thing that's good about this is, you able to document what state of thought you were in, at the time when you doing this thing. You dig what I'm saying? And over the last 2 years that I've been doing this, I guess. You dig what I'm saying? Man, you put in a lot of work. You know what I mean? We in number 292 right now. Okay. Right. Here you go. I like to look back a little bit, see what we was thinking of. You dig what I'm saying? What we was going through, what I was thinking on, just, reminiscing or whatever. You dig what I'm saying? At the top of the year, I put the happy holidays from the gang in. You dig what I'm saying? I did a couple open panels, man, and a lot of people be sleeping on these open panels. They be sleeping on these open panel chop sessions because, they don't know what I'm going to say. You know what I mean? And if it doesn't have a specific thing, and I do that on purpose too, that, the lesson goes with the, title. The title and the lesson go together. So I keep it like that on purpose so people can go back through the videos. You know what I mean? And, just go over them, research, But, it be in some of them chop sessions where, that I'm not like planning a bill, where you kind of just more going off just straight inspiration, the topic on hand, what it is, your knowledge of it, and your ability to explain it and teach it. You dig what I'm saying? So if y'all can get up and, if y'all ever see on my channel an open panel, you should check into it, man. Let's see what we was on, man. This is one of the early ones. Let's see what we was on. This a year ago. Some of this news.
Tonight, a dramatic escalation of President Trump's illegal immigration crackdown. The first of 1,500 extra troops touching down.
let's see when we go back, right? Let's see that when we go back and we look at what I'm saying, right? If I'm telling you to look out for something or that something is going to happen, and then the great Makba, he might pop up tonight. You dig what I'm talking about? You never know with cuz he very mysterious and spooky, but the great Makba said he may be stopping through tonight, but it is a blizzard and snow up here in Michigan. You dig what I'm talking about? It is 1 degree. Is that what that say? 1 degree? No, 23 degrees, 1 degree with real feel. You dig what I'm talking about? Yeah, this was a hell of a year. This was a super trying year for your cousin, man. Oh man. Boy, I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. Even big Cosmonian faith got tested this year. Woo. Big Cosmonian got tested this year. You dig what I'm talking about? Listen, I've been to prison twice, and this has been the worst year of my life. Not even close. Listen to what I said. I've been to prison twice. And a damn day in the joint, damn year lost was as worse as 2025. I was free, had my freedom. You dig what I'm talking about? So trust me, you can be in your own prisons while you free. Right? You can be in the stuck in the pits of the depths or something. You dig what I'm talking about? And you know what I mean? It's just you there. You got to get yourself through this. You dig what I'm talking about? Can't nobody help you. And right then I understood. I learned 2 things. Understood why Creator said, 1, you got to learn how to overcome evil all on your own. I get it. But there's another darker thing I learned this year. I learned that that the depths of pain can change you. It's one thing I learned this year. It can change you, right? And not all the time for the better. You know what I mean? Sometimes for the worse. You know, it's just about how you taking it, how you perceiving it. You know what I mean? How you rolling with the punches in this life. And sometimes this load get heavy headed. You know what I mean? And guess what? Ain't nobody there. Can't nobody help you. Even if they could, they can't. You got to get through this on your own, man. And what you end up finding out is it is somebody there. And it's the only one, the only person, the only thing that's there that helps. And that's Creator. That's the Creator. All praise to the ever present. The one that always was, is, and ever shall be. Boy, you schooled your son this year. Yeah. Schooled your son. Right? I never understood till 2025. I never understood how an angel who understands that there's a creator and all this and everything, you dig what I'm talking about, actually even may have held a position or not. whatever. But you've seen the higher heavens. You've been there, right? I never understood what could push a man to the point that he turned against his. Not even that that you turn against your creator. You dig what I'm talking about? That you know what I mean? You get to question what type of thing must you be going through to make a false god? Right? What must you be going through? I never understood that. Even reading the text, they tell me that they false god. Yeah. You know what I mean? They get redemption and all that. Okay, you dig what I'm talking about? But dog, you knew creator. You know what I mean? You knew. What is getting you to a point to where you could logically, you know what I mean? Not even logically, yeah, or just get your nerve up enough to question creator, right? Which is not a bad thing, by the way. You ought to be able to question creator. The crazy part is, are you open enough to hear the answer? Because I didn't understand how you could make a false god until 2025. I'm gonna tell you. I know now. And how you get there is pain, hurt, cognitive dissonance, loss. That's how you get there. Because I had a question when mine died. And had I not got an answer, well, let's just say we'll never know. And I'm glad that I wasn't forced to take it there. Huh? Creator is miraculous. Take you through some things, man, but you come out on the other side. Ooh, you gonna be stronger. That's one thing for sure. You're gonna be more refined, more pure. Huh? You're gonna been through something, got some experience and gained some knowledge. Came out on the other side with a little chink in your armor, but it made your armor a little snugger. Fit a little better. It don't rattle so much. Yeah, I learned that lesson this year. Pain. That's how you make a false god. I never felt bad for them before. But I understand the depths of the darkness you must be in to get there. I understand that now. I understand I'm not taking no I ain't got no understanding about nothing. I understand that I want this, I'm going to get this, and if it don't be that, everything is going up. I was to that point this year. Your old spiritual groovy guru, little teacher, whoever you listen to, you dig what I'm talking about? He won't keep it real with you like this. They won't let you, they won't tell you how to handle that. They can't bring you back from the ledge. they're gonna give you something to push you over the lid. I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff is a rite of passage to true knowledge. Already knew the creator was real. But after 2025, you could never, ever, ever convince me otherwise. Not with where I had to come back from to get. I had to come back from a place. I went somewhere. And I had to come back, y'all. Because mine wasn't right for a minute, even though it looked right. I smiled in your face. You dig what I'm talking about? But I was hurting. I was grieving. But had I not got a answer, y'all remember when Kanye was at the Grammys that one time and they said he got him on stage, he won the thing, and they said they was all gonna say they was all worried about what I was gonna say if I didn't win, right? Well, I guess we'll never know. Remember that I was there. I'm you know what I mean? I'm on the other side. You know, I guess we'll never know, because I did get an answer right when I needed one. Right when I needed one, I got a real-time answer. It was crazy. Crazy. And it didn't hit me like I thought it was gonna hit me. Because in the end of the day, what I realized is why I was crying just as much is because I love her and I missed her, was because I was selfish. It's a hard lesson to learn. I promise you. I hope none of y'all ever learn this. All right? Hope none of y'all ever learn this. What I was on a year ago, though. Well, let's see what we was talking about.
In El Paso, Texas, to support border security. And for the first time, migrants being deported not on chartered flights like before, but on military aircraft. 2 flights.
Oh, this was when Trump was on that ICE tip. I told y'all. If I'm on this, you dig what I'm talking about. Now look, a year later, Trump is tearing stuff up. He don't care about nothing. Thumb up the video, share out the live real quick. You dig what I'm saying? Yep. All right, on point on this one. Right. He started. This is before the deportations, right? This is when the crackdown was just getting ready to start. They wasn't even sure that they could legally do it all. Now Trump got ICE on their hind pods.
It's landing this morning in Guatemala.
We're getting the bad, hard criminals out. These are murderers. These are people that have been as bad as you get.
After a record 10 million illegal border crossings over the past 4 years, ICE now ramping up roundups of undocumented immigrants, making 538 arrests yesterday across the country, doubling its daily average in September. Cities including San Francisco, Salt Lake City, and Atlanta. In Newark, New Jersey, this surveillance video appears to show ICE agents making arrests. City officials and immigrant advocates say ICE agents raided this local business, arresting 3 undocumented immigrants and briefly detaining an American citizen, a military veteran, while they asked him for documentation.
They were scrambling up delivery ramps. They were banging down bathroom doors to make sure no one was hiding inside.
Facts. Now, all that did happen. Trump then ramped it up. Listen, he on the Somalians' head right now. If y'all been watching what's been going on lately, you dig what I'm saying? He on Ilhan Omar, but and the the Somalis as a record label staff and a crew, because he trying to kick them Negroes up out the country ASAP. You dig what I'm talking about? Well, they did get caught in a $1 billion scheme. You dig what I'm talking about? Defrauding. The United States through PPP. They was siphoning money, sending it through these unfederally checked money systems that the United States set up, know is there to do just exactly what they're doing. Funnel money to places without the federal banks knowing. Now that's even been exposed, right? Just so happened by them, this is the snake biting its own tail. By them exposing this, you dig what I'm talking about? By Trump exposing this, he's exposing that there is a whole transactional system behind the scenes that dips past the FDIC and federal regulations as a whole. And you can funnel billions and millions of dollars to other countries with there being no tax, no woo, because who's to say you did it? Huh? How long has this system been up? You dig what I'm saying? So, guess we was kind of on point on this one. You dig what I'm saying? We might have been a little bit on point on this one. Let's see what we was talking about. My nigga, the West Coast Connect. You dig what I'm talking about? What we was talking about? But they'll figure it out sooner or later, right? We've been in a republic, the highest form of government man is produced on earth yet. The republic. Well, then that begs to ask the question, what's higher than the republic? Come on, Cosmo. Who ready to build that? Because I'm saying there's two things higher than the republic. That's a one world government, and no government. Right? To the point to where you got your stuff together to where it works irregardless to how you feel about it. It helps the people. There's systems to get everything together where there's no government. That's the highest form. But next to that and after the republic is a one world government. People try to say that that's evil, but think of the ideal. If everybody treated each other like they wanted to be treated, wouldn't that be ideal? Bronze, yo. I'm still standing on it that the idea don't change a year later. Right? That's what we be breaking down in them chop sessions. You dig what I'm talking about, them open chop sessions. What's past the republic? What comes next? Okay, let's just say the government fall today. Then what? It's gonna be brothers, hoods, through organization, then a one world. Right? The one world is gonna be ran by the organizations, these brotherhoods. And when we get the one world government running and humming, we dump it. Think of how silly it is to tell a good man and a good wife how to treat each other. Nigga, why you think they together? They already know how to treat. So the encroachment is by you Same thing with the government. Think of how silly it would be to try to govern good people who are loving on each other. It's stupid to tell them anything. That's why the highest form of government is none. But like in all things, there's levels to this. There's levels to this. All right, let's go back. Let's see what else we was on. Let's go back some more. We did a lot of videos this year. Did a lot of standalone videos too, let alone just breakdowns. Overshot. We got into Columbus, Catholics and Conquistadors, a late night flyby. What else we was on? American History Month. Not what they told us. Right? What I was on this one. This is just jump into it. Let's see where the expiration. This is what they looking for. They starving in Europe. You dig what I'm saying? Crops failing. You dig for years. These people are starving. They looking for any hope. Right? This is why they put so much money behind men like Pizarro and Colombo and Magellan. And you dig what I'm talking about? All these great so-called travelers of the world. You dig what I'm saying? Who I call that are called discoverers. Also, understand that in the 1500s, the word discoverer meant spy. So we've gone to debunk the whole narrative that it, first of all, that it was really any significant amount of native native Africans in America enslaved in the 1600s. He said it's only about 300. And they're being documented. Right? So where is all this African black nigger slavery? And we see that for the most part, who had already been enslaved during the end of the 1400s, the 1500s, and now in the 1600s. Europeans. This is the part of the American story they don't never tell you about. Let's keep cooking.
Later. But meantime, hundreds, thousands of poor whites were being brought in, and
I think I should go back over this video because now that I'm listening back to it, the sound was kind of low on that, but I'm cooking on this thing. You dig what I'm talking about? For sure, I'm cooking. How do you think the Aztecs did deals with the Maya and they spoke different languages? How do you think the Maya did deals with the Okono in Michigan? Everybody had Otawa. Breaking down that Aboriginal history up here in America. You dig what I'm talking about? North America. And right, I think at this point, I must be breaking down the language. Right? Let's go back a little bit, see where what we was talking about. You dig what I'm talking about? We just reviewing the year, y'all. But you see, I be on my Aboriginal talk, huh? Big Anakwakaiki, what? The cloud kicker. Let's go. Remember, we taught the world English. Uh-oh. Now, we didn't went over there and taught this 1,000 times, but maybe we got to even go back over this even more. English, made from the 26 primary indigenous American languages, taken by James Eliot. The Latin script was applied to it, and Algonquin words were spelled out in a trade language that is now called American English. It is 100% Aboriginal, but because it is a trade language and by nature, whoever you're talking to, you borrow words from them that you don't have in your lexicon and culture because you don't have in your lexicon because you don't have it in your culture. For instance, right? If you're dealing with a German, you don't have Frankfurters. They have Frankfurters. You don't have it, but they're saying Frankfurter, you apply that to your English language. So when you need a Glizzington, you can get a Frankfurter. You dig what I'm talking about? You do the same thing with Spanish. You do the same thing with Arabic. This is why English has the most loan words of any language in the world. First of all, we're the most dominant people in the world because we're the most intelligent people in the world. Not what I'm saying, right? And we're the most culturally dominant, right? This is why y'all don't know other languages, but everybody know English. You dig what I'm saying? But let's cook though. You dig what I'm talking about? Let Cosby cook. We go throw back, see what we was talking about. Right? In America, for thousands and thousands of years, we have had a signed language. How do you think the Aztecs did deals with the Maya and they spoke different languages? How do you think the Maya did deals with the Okono in Michigan? Everybody had Ottawa, Okono, Michigan, copper. How is y'all talking to us? And we speak a Algonquin-based tongue, Algic. You dig what I'm saying? And y'all speaking the Mayan tongue, which I do not believe is Nuato. Right? So, how did we do business? How did I get your corn and whatever you was raising? And how did you get my copper? Huh? Through our trade language, which was signed. See, what they don't understand is a language is not only written, a language is not only spoken, but a language is also signed. Huh? See, that's what they don't be ready for. A language is not only spoken, written, but a language is also signed. Signed language. When you go back and you look at some of the old films, well, how did these dudes come out here to the West and speak to the Indians in the West? Right? When they spoke these different various languages. How did they speak to the Plains Indian? They used sign language. Come on, y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Just breaking down more of that Aboriginal history. You dig what I'm saying? And then I'm the only one in the game, period, that links it back to the creator. Like, you know, they talk about spiritual, the ancestors. What ancestor? Why is your ancestor down here solo talking to you about stuff on earth? Did you know that if they do that, that's a sign that they a demon? What they tell you? Huh? Obviously, we got into the sign language. You dig what I'm talking about? Sign language of the creator. Dig what I'm saying? American history, right? Not what they told us. First of all, African Americans ain't African. right? We're Aboriginal Americans, right? If there's an African, if there is a Asian, there's a European, there's an Arab, there's an East Indian, well, then there must be a original American. And guess what? He's not from Asia. That don't even make sense. The Asians are from Asia. Anybody with that Asian genetic, you migrated here, cats. And just like it's a copper colored brown Negroidal person, indigenous to every other landmass in the world, there's one here too in America. He just happens to be misnomered as African, but he's in fact aboriginal to America. Huh? The Angwi, the Negro. Huh? As the Algonquins call them, the Anguika. Yeah, Anguigan. Yeah, Anguika. That's how they say it. Anguika. Right? Just like Owaspi tell you, that's the ancient word for Indian. Aboriginal, first of men. You dig what I'm saying? Angui, Gan. Gan means man, literally. Angui means the first of, upright, aboriginal. And then Owaspi double down and tell you that the Aboriginal American is copper colored brown with long black coarse hair. There ain't no Asian, Native American, nowhere that's copper colored with nigga hair. Not none. He described them. Then he said they ain't nowhere else. They only in America. And they are special, they own little thing. Even the ones, even though they Americans all through and through, but them ones in North America, huh? The ones who culturally dominate the planet, they different than everywhere else. They ain't nowhere else, primarily, but in North America. Only Owaspi as a spiritual system says that. Only Owaspi is breaking the delusion. No, nigga, your 1 millionth great grandmama was from here. Why would you have to go anywhere when she already here? Did our people move, migrate sometimes? Yeah, maybe north, south. Primarily, we only migrate north and south. Primarily. But you dig what I'm saying? Yeah, we would have migrated, but that don't mean we had to come from a different continent. Right? Huh. Seem like the story of what Owaspi saying is more true than what anybody else is saying. That the first group that survived a cataclysmic genetic bottleneck event, them first people went everywhere and repopulated all the major land masses. That first of all, it makes sense. And then it backs up what we see in the bones. The oldest people everywhere is a nigga, and he's short. He real little. Everywhere. You dig what I'm talking about? Our ancestors just a couple hundred years ago was little niggas. But if you go back some more, yeah, some big giant niggas too. That's the crazy part about it. Ain't nothing new. This has been done over and over, and now we just more in the middle. Huh? This is why in this time and era, you get great physical attributes and you can gain great spiritual attributes at the time because you have both at hand. You can be extremely physically dominant in every way if you want to. Whatever your ideal is, you can be that. Now the possibility for every man to do that spiritually. The people who have done that spiritually, we still talk about to this day. The Moseses of the world, the Abrahams, the Jesuses, the Buddhas. We still talk about those people who have been able to perfect that spiritual state. You dig what I'm talking about? Waspy say you can not only balance them, you can have them both at the highest level that you allow yourself to ascend to. Said that's open. That way is free and open for 99% of most people in the world. 99% of people can switch it on. Most of that is done by diet. This is what we've been telling y'all for years. It's not spooky. You can't see it. But when you tune in, right? Like a radio, you don't understand that the radio, even when you got a radio working, and it's not till you tune into the right frequency, the right station, that you can actually hear clearly. It's the same thing with the human body. But it's the same thing with the spirit also. We got down over here in 220, obviously breaking down the Moors are the true Europeans. Moor just means brown skin. Same thing black, same thing nigga, same thing colored means what Moor means. And don't get it twisted. There were tribes that the literal tribe is called Moor in America already. Moor and Muur, both already here, tribes. So that was in America before the term even would have been applied to Europeans. And really, it's just the Spanish more understanding, Castilian understanding, and difference between the people that they were seeing at the time. Right? Because it was for surely white folks there. What I'm trying to say is there were definitely Europeans there, but in the European, there was a brown people who had always been there and they knew the difference. Right? This is how some Moors are Catholic, some Moors are Islamic, some Moors are Jewish, because they're not actually talking about a person's belief system, right? They're simply talking about their skin color. We got into the mythical conquest of Canaan. Oh, what you mean mythical? Right? This is when Big U got cooked. This was way early this year. Right? I started bringing out the with my man Cuz on point. His name is escaping me right now. Walter Russell. Listen, this guy is inspired by
They
the
are
creator,
forming
man.
their
Ain't
own
no way.
space-time by collapsing the waves of light into new photon oscillations.
Of but one mind, one force, and one substance. Huh? Y'all know Cosmo agree with this. How many times I done told y'all there's only one force? Woo! See, I told you that boy is on point. You dig what I'm talking about? This Walter Russell in 1926. Now, mind you, this some 44 years after Owaspy already revealed this. And even though Walter Russell is on point, he's not right. He in that way, right? He walking that way. He gonna bump right into it, right? Because he there. But he lacking what everybody was lacking, that the true faith is knows the initial motion, the cause behind the cause. Huh? They call that the breath. Huh? The Greeks call that, shout out to Silas Shalom. He destroyed it, but let me put it back together, right? He destroyed the logos for these niggas, the three parts, right? This is why they calling it the word, because it's the sound. Huh? As sonoluminescence explains, that creates the motion. This is why he says, I am. Oof. 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 Don't it say that that all motion is his speech? Ooh, ain't everything moving? Oof. Created out of control. Walter Russell, he on one. He on one. And this is how you know he wasn't directly inspired by what's in Owaspy, because he ain't got the language. He ain't got the language. He ain't got the real cause. He ain't said the word yet. He don't even say vortex one time. But he talking about the spirit, the spinning, spiraling motion. Listen, he's there. This is how you know Owaspy, even for people who are on the right path, is still a higher light and points you to an even higher direction. This is just a year in review. You know that force as vortex or spin. Huh? And all forces, whether you call it electricity, magnetism, light, gravity, are only different variations of the same vortexian force acting upon different corporeal materials moving at different places at different times. Facts. Come on, guys, man. Or even all at one time. Because not only is there one mind, one force, and one substance, right? This substance acted upon by this one force creates and gives control over matter. The question was asked today by my young brother, right? And he tried his best to explain this. Well, how do you make water, right? Why we know exactly how to create water. You take 1 part of oxygen and add 2 parts of hydrogen to it. Well, why can't you combine them? Huh? What force is used to combine 1 part of oxygen to 2 parts of hydrogen? Why can't you do it by yourself? Because you're not using the one force. Huh? Or the one substance. What is the substance? They don't, he tried to explain it the best that he could, but ether is what allows, first of all, allows chemicals to move, but also allows them to combine and interconnect. Quantum science and physical science tries to explain this as a fluon. Yep, and
right,
gluons and gluons.
This energy that allows one to attract one into the other. This force.
Yeah, they don't know that is why ether is in and outside of everything. You dig what I'm talking about? We just reviewing in year. You dig what I'm talking about? We just reviewing, y'all. We going back, looking over some of the topics, and you dig what I'm talking about? Highlights of stuff or whatever came up. Because I'm sure, I believe around April sometime, I think I gave the great Makba might have came and gave a prophecy that ended up being absolutely true again. The great Makba is about what, 4-0 now? You dig what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, I gotta go back and do my what is it? MI Atlas. Because the great Makba did give a prediction that December 19th was gonna roll right on by. You dig what I'm talking about? When the 3-eye Atlas was close to the earth and y'all forgot about it. See how short y'all attention span is? Y'all not even worried about that. You didn't even remember the 3-eye Atlas till I said it. Well, about 12 days ago, you were supposed to be on your knees crying to Jeebus, praying that the mountains fall upon you because it was supposed to be the end of the world, Cosmon. You are a fool if you do not see that this is little green aliens pushing a massive ship in the shape of comet, Cosmon. You are a dummy. You dig what I'm talking about? If you do not believe what Avi Loeb is telling you. But the great Makba, you dig what I'm talking about? He stood his ground, and let them niggas know that stop playing with him. You dig what I'm talking about? That you was gonna roll right through the 19th and forget about it. Remember, at the time that we'll probably go past that. You dig what I'm saying when we get down here to the end, but before even the prophecy was given, remember, it's some comments that came closer, right? Closer than what 3-eye Atlas did, and y'all didn't even blink. Y'all didn't blink eye. They ain't say nothing about that one. Remember Lemon? No, y'all don't even remember Lemon. And then I'm the only one on TV that told you about it, not to be scared about it. Right? Everybody else was like, this is some type of QU Death Star. You know what I mean? I don't know. Okay. We got what we get up in here? Open chop session. Dang, we got some brothers up here. His point. That's exactly to his point.
Yeah,
the
blacks are being
diluted to European.
Yeah,
hey,
believe it or not. Hey, hold on, Mulatto. Listen, bro, you would be.
That's my brother OTK. Shout out my brother OTK. You dig what I'm saying? Kicking up the dust. Shout out to the wild Indians.
Able to talk for real. You don't have to get into this back and forth match for real, man, because you don't never get disrespectful with people. You might talk your shit about the mulatto and checkmate, but you don't call people out their names. Like I always iterate. But you know what I mean? You got other people on the panel that might want to ask you a question too.
All
Hey,
right,
you know,
I'll mute up. I'll mute up. Go ahead.
no, you don't have to mute up, but
All right. Let me see. Let's go back. Let's go back. I think it was 100 some shows this year, and I took a lot of time on. You dig what I'm talking about? And then now I didn't slow it up because, you know, getting back into my career, right? But let's look at this. Some of the worst. Let's look at this. Worshipers. What does this says? This is Jehovah Chronicles number 227. By the way, we on 292. Salute everybody for coming through. You dig what I'm talking about? Love, life, balance out there. Everybody, you dig what I'm saying? You know, your cousin out here. I'm blowing on Kush, sipping on coffee. You dig what I'm talking about? I ain't doing nothing. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't trying to kick nothing, hurt nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? Or let nothing die. I ain't even on it. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't trying to kick sand at the beach. You dig what I'm saying? It's a whole new year. You dig what I'm saying? Everybody just turning over new leaf. You know, supposedly it's a new year, but you know what I mean. But you know, as faithers, we know when the real New Year's Day is, right? But we just going back in a year cycle, in a 365-day cycle. You dig what I'm talking about? Seeing what we was talking about, and on this one, we talking about the worshipers of the Great Spirit in America. And listen, the crazy part is a lot of these be documented up, you know, and we can always go back, boom, you know, show different things, you know what I mean, rework them, come with new ideas, add on, delete. You dig what I'm talking about? That's the dope part about being in the game. You dig what I'm talking about? We're not pigeonholed to anything, right? It's just the creator or nothing. In system, order, love, light, and balance. You dig what I'm talking about? Without sacrifice of anyone or anything or hurting of anything. It's different, right? Don't pray to God, be God. It's different.
This about to hurt. First translation came from Samuel Birch. European Egyptology gave you it first. You couldn't translate a bird.
Shout out to C-Live, because every time you catch a hat, boy, you going up, he gonna make you famous. He gonna make you famous because he gonna beat you and then rap about how and why he beat you and why you lame. And why it was so easy to do it. He already had a video beforehand that you was gonna lose, and how? Think about that. Before the debate is over, right? He already got a rap, everything, video recorded. But not only that, in the rap, it show you why you whack and how you lost the debate before the debate even happens. Think about that. different over here, man.
To a word without looking up them European definition verbs. Y'all niggas acting like y'all blackity black. Fronting to the people, man. Y'all niggas actually whack. Your pathetic comedic creation myth is a trap. The blind leading the blind with no actual facts.
Mario
Sade,
you
sauce to the Sade. Come to find out you follow with Yahweh. That was your execution. You Rosicrucian.
See, shout out to that boy. You dig what I'm talking about? Be body bagging shit. You dig what I'm talking about? That boy be body bagging. You dig what I'm talking about? Put the young homie in the body bag. And I even seen a cat. You know what I mean? You know, he had his little undertones with him and his understanding. You dig what I'm talking about? And he think that he know what a waspy is, but he didn't speak on it positively. He spoke on it with a negative connotation, but admitted also that he didn't know about it. I can't remember the brother's name. Some Rastafarian Egyptian dude. Weird. But that's the stuff that they trying to get you to play into when you've been your own thing here. Huh? They've usurped cultures and chewed them up through religion and given them back to you. Hid your own code, symbols, hand signs, languages, dances. Huh? Everything. And then dupe both sides. They told the lie to their children too, so they would believe it. Not only told it to your children so they would believe it. Huh? Slow niggas with running around with goddamn loin cloths on and nigga, we had shoes 18,000 years ago. We had apartment buildings thousands of years ago that's still standing, still used, multi-layered shit. You dig what I'm talking about? Hot and cold running water thousands of years ago. All by ourselves with nobody else. We produced the wheel. We created zero. Mastered hydrodynamics, pyramid building, metallurgy. These people wasn't stupid. Do not believe what these people got to say about your people. Don't believe nobody narrative about you. Huh? Listen to why wouldn't you listen to grandma narrative then? Why wouldn't you listen to your mama, your auntie, your cousin them narrative? One thing I know, shout out to my boy Prophet, my boy Prophet Swamper up in here, my Bulldog brother up in here. Y'all listen. Everybody hear the voice of the Creator. You just call it your conscience. And we just gonna keep pushing. You dig what I'm talking about? Big homie been dropping for many moons now. You dig what I'm talking about? And we ain't gonna slow up no time soon. Jehovah just keep shedding that light. You dig what I'm saying? Where we was at, we gotta go down some more. We've been working, right? We've been working. And then, you know, in between here, let's not forget all the videos I put up. Right? If I'm not mistaken, I'm at 450 or so videos, I think it is. So it'll be some different things in here like like the Lost Book of King Og. If y'all slept on that, if you slept on the Lost Book of King Og, you know I do the Giants. Oh man, wait till you see the next stuff I got. Oh man, wait till you see the next stuff I got on the Giants. Oh man. And wait till you see the next stuff I got on the little people. Huh? This is what they think about you. Just chopping it up. This 8 months ago. Right? Lost Book of King Og. This is part 1. You know what I mean? Just show a little of that. Being of one mind and spirit, bleeding for Baal to undo the unspoken mistake. The Raphaim must now consider themselves. The Raphaim must consider a return to the excreta of the beginning. Every day brings the execution or extinction of the Raphaim species closer. Consider Baal when you have given birth to a child at 500 years. Consider Baal again as each new star passes. It is Baal that makes our land fertile. It is Baal again to produce Raphaim offspring. It is Baal and divining became as those who turn the wise backwards and render the knowledgeable foolish. I already have spoken of their death and judgment. In this season, the smaller cells were found in both lands. From that time forth, only the smaller cell females were trained to serve in the temples as priestesses or sorceresses. The proper use of smaller cells were as slaves, temple servants, and food for the giants. Smaller self men indeed became food for the giants, and their male offspring were indeed burnt and sacrificed to Baal of the earth in the hills above the kingdom of Og. Nimrod's kingdom chose to circumcise the males of the smaller cells. He allowed the smaller cells to... Well, once you get up in that, you dig what I'm talking about. You learn that really, you know, they talk about the Raphaim and the Nephilim in the Bible as these angelic beings and all that, but really they're just large men. And the only difference between a Raphaim and a Nephilim is one circumcised themselves. That's it. As you see, even though they tell you they gods, they die like men. Right? So, and then once you understand that every god is gonna die like a man, it starts to reveal a little bit. You dig what I'm saying? Right? It ain't really what they told you it was. We got into a Waspie's view on government this year, right? We got into white slavery and outstanding revelations brought forth during white slavery or about white slavery. If you didn't know nothing about it, you need to learn about it, right? That whole 1865 story that you somehow freed Cosmon in 1865, it's not true. Yeah, wasn't really me that you were fighting for. Dressing that, you know, how Africans just don't like black people. Right, with the American Zulu issue and Mardi Gras and all that. Remember all that? Yeah. All that been, you know, kind of beat up and took off. Shadur Sanders. Didn't I tell you what this was gonna be about? Right? I told you way back in why he dropped to the 5th round. What it was going to be about. This is about control, right? Power. But even I learned later in the year why they was trying to keep this boy out. And it is because of his prime equity clause. Basically, if people don't know what he did, and the NFL kind of stands for not for long, and it's an old boys league. You know what I mean? You're not about to just come in here and change stuff. And this boy slipped in here and changed a lot of things. And if he go out here and ball out and have a stupid career like I think he's about to, man, he may go down as the greatest and the richest player to ever put on a pair of cleats. Basically what he did, for those who aren't up on it, he did an ingenious thing that it just, now that I look back on it, why wouldn't everybody do this? But why nobody's seen it this way? And the fact that he is the very first to do it is why he'll go down in history. But I liked also the homage to his father in this clause that's about to change the game. It's called the prime equity clause, right? And basically, it's a NIL or name and licensing, image and licensing deal like they do in college, but on the NFL level. And boy, okay, to show you how much of a game changer what Shador was able to do and is now doing, you don't talking about now being the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. They fought him all this year, tried to sabotage him, all that stuff, you know, if you ain't caught up. But this is 8-9 months ago when he was first being drafted, right? Cosmo seen it then. They trying to do the boy dirty. So I explained what it was. But even I didn't understand the NIL part or the name, image, and licensing part that he was applying into the prime equity clause. Basically, what it allows him to do is every time he branded himself and then did a deal with the NFL, but it comes from TV money. And this is how overall the teams pay themselves. You dig what I'm talking about? They pay everybody off that TV money. They get billions of dollars, billions of dollars, right? And after they pay everybody and it all split up and everything, you dig what I'm talking about? It'd be billions sitting in the coffer and you done made all this money off these players. You control their images, everything, all that stuff. Every time that something gets showed up there, you get paid. Now, what he did was allow or make the NFL have to pay him for his name, image, and licensing, using it in the NFL on any commercial, anything. Basically, an NIL deal in the NFL. He's controlling his own name, image, and licensing instead of letting the NFL do it. It's revolutionary. This is why it's getting the backlash. This is why it's getting the hate. It wasn't that they hated his father. They hated what his father represents as into the change that they were even perceiving that had to come. This had to come. It was going to be somebody else, if not him. And he got his boy in there. Uh-oh. Let me show y'all the difference. The number one quarterback, I ain't mad at him. His name was Cam Ward. He got a deal for $48 million for 4 years. being the number one pick, right? The number one pick. He got $48 million for 4 years. That's $12 million a year. Let's just straight math, right? Shador was drafted in the 5th round, pick 147. You dig what I'm talking about? And he got picked in the 5th round. And he got $4 million, right? For 4 years. See the difference? 48 million, number one. 5th round, 100-something pick. You dig what I'm talking about? You get, I think it's $4 million for 4 years, right? That's the difference between pick number one in the 1st round and pick number 100-something in the 5th round, right? But before they ever even made a snap, now remember, the number one guy's getting $12 million a year from his football career, right? But before he ever even took a snap, Shador had already made $20 million just off jersey sales and name, image, and licensing. You see how that worked now? All them jersey sales, Shador got a cut of that now. Instead of the NFL keeping the bulk of the money and not paying him like they do to, like, let's say, any other player in the NFL. They sell their jersey. You dig what I'm talking about? The NFL is not beholden to pay them anything for using their name, their image, their license. You already got your contract, boy. Go out there, play ball. That's what you get. If anything other than that, you getting it in endorsements on your own. Not knowing that they already didn't work with you. And then even when you go out there and do the endorsements on the other people, for the other people, yeah, they paid you for that, but your name, image, and licensing is still being broadcasted on NFL networks, especially if you a star. So they get all that free pub. Shador made it. Now you got to pay him. So at the end of the year, when everybody done being paid, Shador gonna get a big dumbass check. Like when the teams take their cut, he gonna get a cut of that TV money too. He got it up front. Now it's only drops in the bucket compared to what the team's making, but shit, 20, 30, 40 million. You start to add that up over a 10-year, 12, 15-year career. They start to, 40 mil plus whatever you get in your contract. This is besides your contract. So basically, the number one player gonna make 12 million this year. Shador gonna get his 1 million plus the 25 that he already did made. 25 plus. He done made close to, what was it, 30 million now? Before he ever even took a snap as an NFL quarterback. He had already made more money than the number one pick was going to make off of name, images, and licensing. This is why it's revolutionary. This is why they hated on that boy. This is why they didn't want Deion in there, because they knew this was coming. Somebody gave him a chance, and the creator is good. Have my young bro up here, man. I got to give a big shout out to bro. A hella long way. He always had the light. You dig what I'm talking about? Young Judah Vaughn. You dig what I'm talking about? Young Judah Vaughn Cosmine. You dig what I'm talking about? That's my baby boy. You dig what I'm saying? I got crazy love for him. You dig what I'm saying? And he done came a long, long way. He shook that indoctrination fast. Shook it off, relearn, retaught itself. We see a lot of people don't know behind the scenes, Prince be hitting me up. Prince always be asking questions. What about this? What if this? Dang, that makes sense. I ain't never think of it that way. Well, you dig what I'm saying? He always trying to get something up out of it, and I always respected that about him, man. And so the growth and maturation I didn't see from earlier this year to now, Prince is taking the leap. You dig what I'm talking about? Prince is taking the leap. That's dope.
Jehovih, love, peace, and light, family. Vortex is in the building. We're gonna get into some of this higher light on how the Divian Congress was created in the first 3 laws that they laid in place, y'all. Back in the time when the Book of Divinity was written. Shout out to Angelic in the building. Love, light, and balance. Vortex and love to you too, sis. You know what it is. Who else we got in the building? Milestone Thoughts. Salute. Salute to you. All praises to the ever-present Great Spirit. And my bro, Elijah 7. Peace and enlightenment, family. Yes, sir. Let's get a little bit of this.
Yeah, Judavon crept up on him this year. You dig what I'm talking about?
God said, be attentive to the voice of thy Lord and angels, and be patient, that you may understand the dominion of thy God and add glory to the Almighty. And he's still saying, consider, O man, the wisdom of your God, to perceive what is feasible to your own judgment, and be far-reaching with thine own members, to do good with your hands and your feet. Be far-reaching in that. Verse 10. The div, or God, decreed. This is the first law that he decreed. And actually, before I get to there, I'm gonna go back up real quick, because I really wanted to show or pull out that Jehovah said, verse 6, Jehovah said, I am the light and the light, right? Behold me, I am Ormazd. Now, in the previous chapter, it talks about, obviously, he's a destroyer. He's the all in all. That is the law of Ormazd. So when you go back to verse,
shout out to young Judah Vaughn. You dig what I'm talking about? That boy been cooking this year. You dig what I'm talking about? I want to give my young dog some propers. You dig what I'm saying? I see it. You dig what I'm saying? I see it. But Shadur was on point, man. And I did a video later sometime in this year. And if you see where it says Shadur Sanders, you and your daddy gonna learn, boy. You dig what I'm saying? So you know, we got some crazy revelation later on in the year, and now that boy's starting in the NFL. You dig what I'm talking about? Just beat Aaron Rodgers head to head in the NFL game. Say what you want. It is what it is, man. They tried to hold him back. Had to bust out my AP. Steady shining. Hey, shout out that boy, Shadur, man. Shout out Shadur. Y'all go to Sharice the Realist. It's my baby sister, man. Go on over there, show her some love. She be kicking it on the Aboriginal tip. You dig what I'm saying? Shedding that light. You dig what I'm saying? Always got a nice point of view. You dig what I'm talking about? That leads to a higher understanding. You dig what I'm saying? So I always appreciate and love going over there to rock with my baby sister Sharice, because she always on something. You dig what I'm saying? She on something. What is this? What I got up in here? You say, this is 236. I stand by anything I say. Free chop session. Let's see what I say then.
You got to show the people there's still a right way.
Yeah. Well, he's probably rocking out an extra clip. and they say he had a gun. We don't. Oh, that's the man that remember the man, his son got shot and killed by the police, and the next day he run the police over and killed one of them. Right? They doctored up that video. The police crooked, man. Police crooked. You dig what I'm saying? So, but that should be no surprise, you know. That should be no surprise. Right. We got into a Waspy's view on the government. Revisionist, fake Hebrew history, loser brews, still emo about that ass whooping we put on them boys. Right? Right? They was crying. They still crying. JJ still mad. See, a lot of people forget. Zion was mad. Zion was mad because if y'all remember when we took the Hebrews on, he was with them. He was on the flyer. If I'm not mistaken, Eli say something to Zion in one of the raps in like the Lions Den diss or something. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah. You dig what I'm saying? So if I'm not mistaken, let me see. That's what you gotta understand. Not to even
cut the head off for the Lions Den and watch.
I mean, somebody get they ass slaughtered. Y'all go to my boy DMG chat. I might even show a little bit of that. Cedric Ortega taking off his belt. He took off his belt and put belt to ass on JJ. That nigga was looking like a fool. JJ was so confused, he started arguing from Cedric's position by the end of the debate. Huh? He started trying to prove that Columbus didn't exist. No, dumbass. The point is to prove there was niggas in America before he got here. You dig what I'm saying? So we can't let these boys go out with this revisionist history, man. Thumb up the video, share the live, man. Let's go back to these times, because if y'all remember, this what was really going on.
Creator gang is undefeated. I keep it real, pack this steel if whoever want it. Clap, Judah be running laps when he get confronted. Got Devil Cosmon and knock you off of 500. They hit the club, roll up a Judah dub forever blunted. Contemplating on who we gonna take out next. Got Cosmo, Cal, Malik, got Mac and be the best. The 4 horsemen who understand the business. Contract killers won't hesitate to kill a witness. 21 bodies executed on my hit list. JJ trying to watch me, trying to take pictures. Y'all out working with woods and paint, a bunch of snitches. Peer pressure separate the real from the bitches. Niggas be gang gang until you start to bang gang. Let a nigga brains hang on everybody like dang. You thought it couldn't happen. Yahweh wouldn't smoke 9/11 Manhattan. Bullets in his breastplate, both lungs collapsing. Hands reaching in the air for the air he grasped it. The flyer was made, Sila Shalom, first captain. But the captain ran away just like if nothing happened. I'm a certified killer. Peel a nigga, cut him open and feed him his own liver. Graphic is how I paint the picture. Shoot shots like a pitcher. Split JJ like a swish. Cut the head off for the Lions Den and watch the rest of the body quiver. Core shots out the left when it's crunch time on the trigger. Got you paired with eagles, fly like seagulls when it's time. I scoot out, shoot out. Air out Yara every time. Standing behind enemy lines, killing my enemies every time. Defend the faith like Muslim Sunni soldiers at a shrine. I facilitate thoughts beyond the thoughts of mankind. Creator gang is in the prime while you niggas get left behind. Creator gang is undefeated.
Facts. And that's still staying, man. We listen, ain't took a L yet. Vito, what up, guys? We just going back over some of the stuff. What's been going on this year? You dig what I'm talking about? Some of the lessons and you know what's going on. You dig what I'm talking about? Pop on, man. Show them that pretty little puppy, man. We got some shit. We got some stuff in the works for y'all boys. Listen, Cloud Kicker Kennels is coming. It's coming. The butcher, nigga. Yeah, it's coming. Cloud Kicker. It's coming. Gonna have them old family red noses. You dig what I'm talking about? Great family dogs. You dig what I'm saying? Great for your family. Great for your children. Right? Do everything another dog can do. And then turn around and whoop the dog. It's just different. Once you got a pit bull, you know what I mean? A real pit bull. You dig what I'm talking about? Then you start to see the difference. You dig what I'm saying? All right. You dig what I'm saying? Salute everybody for coming through, man. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't on nothing. You dig what I'm saying? Just reminiscing. You dig what I'm talking about? Then we got into the whole little fact. Remember, I brought up the fact a while before. You dig what I'm talking about Shadur. 8 months, well then 7 months ago, you dig what I'm talking about. We got into something else. You dig what I'm talking about with this boy. You dig what I'm talking about? Some more history, you know, what's now history. You dig what I'm saying? A lot of people was sleeping on that. You dig what I'm talking about? Share them broadcasts out. You know, it's open for anybody to share it out. I don't be hating. You dig what I'm saying? Then we got into the Empress Verdiasi. You dig what I'm talking about? A lot of people don't know. I came up Washita. You dig what I'm talking about? And I have a Moorish name. Yup. You dig what I'm saying? So you know, it is what it is. Some people talk about it, some people was there. You dig what I'm talking about? That's I can honestly say that's a great woman. I don't meet too many people who impress me. Right? She was regal in a way you'd have to just be around her to get it. You dig what I'm talking about? It's something about kings and queens. You dig what I'm saying? Or I don't. They got a sort of savoir faire that you dig what I'm talking about, or what I'm starting to learn is Ashar, spiritual light, guardian beings around them that pump up good feeling around them. They have an air, what they call an air about them. She had that too. We got into. I swear I don't even remember this. 239 YL Waspy. Let's see what I said. Look, this God said, let there be lights in space, in the firmament of heaven, to divide the day from the night. So he made lights to divide day from night. But these lights, right, they will be for signs. What does a sign do? It alerts you to a time or a place where a thing is going to happen. When you're coming down the freeway, right, and you're about to get off at an exit, there's a sign that lets you know in a half mile it's exit whoop-de-wop, and you can go this way, right? So he said he created the sun and the moon for signs, so man will know which way to go, right? And for seasons, summer, winter, fall, spring, but not just on Earth, but galactically. Also for days and years. So these lights that were created in the heaven, right, put in the firmament, right, were to be for signs, seasons, and for days and years, clocks, and calendars. Telling you which way to go. Signs. And look, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and it was so. So we know right here on the fourth day, right, after the third day, the fourth day, God made the two great lights. That both of them, right? Both of them, not just one, right? Not just one of them. Both of them give light to the earth. Does the sun give light during the day? Does the moon give light during the night? Yes, it does. These lights, right? So we know that these lights now are what? The sun and the moon. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the sun, and the lesser to rule the night, right? He made but see, now he told you that he made them for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, right? He told you that he did that, but he didn't then turn around and teach you how, right, to use these lights in the firmament, this sun and this moon, he didn't teach you how to tell the signs. He didn't tell you how to extrapolate a season out of the moon or the sun. He didn't tell you how to extrapolate a day out of the moon. He didn't teach you how to count. Ask your God what year it is. He'll tell you 5785, Cosmon. That means I created everything on 3761 BC. It's a problem. That your God tells you a thing that should be so objective, there should be no way you could get around this. You should be able to look in the sky and see signs and know by the sun and the moon what season it is, what day it is, and what year it is. If you see that the God of the Bible didn't teach you how to use the sun and the moon, right? Even though he said, I made the sun and the moon to tell time, right? So you could tell time. That's the whole reason I made it. But if you see now that he didn't teach you how to use it, hit me with a 1 in the chat. Man, been cooking all day. been cooking all year. You dig what I'm talking about? That's objective. I don't even remember. You dig what I'm saying? Even doing this live. But that's the good part of being 100. Whatever I said then, I'm gonna say now. Standing on it. You dig what I'm talking about? Ain't nothing like I'm gonna try, like I was lying then, I'm telling the truth now. No, I was telling the truth then, I'm telling the truth now. Watch this. Let's see what else I was talking about. I don't even know what I was talking about. Yo, shout out to the ambassadors of the angel host of heaven. This is going to tell you this is building up to a time. And once they start saying that, they're going to tell you, oh, it's 15 years away from it. It's 14 years away from it. Well, 14 years away from 1881 is what? 1867. Were they doing this in 1867? I'm going to show you everything. I'm telling you, they don't know to hide this. They don't know it's true. So they just write it in the book and think it don't have no part to play, is not significant. And while you proving the creator, not even knowing it, proving the works of creator are true, and that the book itself is a power. And then the dope part is it say it ain't immaculate. Yeesh. This is different. It's different, y'all. Let's get into this spiritualist movement. I just wanted y'all to get what was going on at the time. Waspi said this spirit stuff was going to happen. Boom, here it is. At the same time, it say it's going to happen.
Quite a lot. Today's spiritualism is considered the new age of spirituality. It leads from 1970 to today, where there is evidence that 7 out of 10 U.S. adults claim to be spiritual in some way. New Age spirituality involves practices of astrology, meditation, tarot cards, and mediumship. A standout figure in the New Age of spiritualism was Uri Del Harris, who portrayed
Creator said, shit. Nigga, till you've created a sun with a firmament with planets in it, you ain't even. Creator said, shit. Nigga, till you've created a sun with a firmament with planets in it, you ain't even half the God you gonna be. Huh? If y'all see, Waspi said this, and now we seeing it happening before it happened. Huh? Waspi prophesying hit me with a 2 in the chat. Monsignor P. Valerie was also a staunch spiritualist at Constantinople. At his house, strong spiritual manifestations occurred in 1862. 19 years before Waspi is written, 20 years before it's published. When all sat at a distance from the table in an ordinary lighted room, it answered by raps. Like rap is somebody banging on something. And even by what? The table, they saying they sitting away from the table, but even by lifting itself without contact in view of all the assistants. A certain evening, a visitor from Alexandria who came with a walking stick, seen by several of the witnesses, missed his stick at the close of the sitting. On arrival at his hotel, he found it under his bed covers in the closed room. When he got to bed, he was drawn by the spirits at his request halfway out of the bed. Another evening, the spirits carried off the key of his hotel room from his pocket. On coming home, he was forced to share the room of a friend. After a while, they found the key under the candlestick. And on opening his room, the gentleman found everything out of place. That sounds like a drooge. You dig what I'm talking about? That sounds like some demonic low action. He said, out of place. The bed covers, etc., being thrown in a heap in the middle of the apartment. Other similar pranks were often played by the spirits in this gentleman's presence, making it evident that he was what is now called a strong physical medium. In May 1863, an exposition. Hold on, let me go on in. '71, they hollered at JBN. No, in 1970, they came and talked to JBN. Right? 1870, 1871, they come talk to JBN. I'm saying 19 in here. Now I'm listening back. It's common. You dig what I'm talking about? But I meant 1871. There was like 1870, 71. There was a 10-year process to building up to get his physical and spiritual self in a position to be able to download and write a book with the clarity of Owashby. His body had to be right. There was a 10-year process. Guess this is what I'm explaining at this time. They came to talk to JBN, the angelic host. They put him on a 10-year preparatory plan. Because in that 11th year, he wrote Owashby, 1881. Y'all see how it worked now? They talking about a movement that the angels is giving them inspiration to, but the angels is off. Watch this. It's not their fault. During this period, it was said that the work of spiritualists, listen, during this period, listen, y'all, it is said that the work of the spiritualists would be to conduct a stern and unyielding warfare against the world. Conduct a stern and unyielding warfare against the world without, to revolutionize old ideas, uproot stereotyped errors, and to do battle with priestcraft and schoolcraft, ignorance, and bigotry. Now, we know for a fact the spiritualist movement didn't do this. It didn't revolutionize old ideas. It came with the same Christian ones. They still praise Jesus. It didn't uproot any stereotype errors. Many of these people still upheld slavery and bigotry and all that stuff. Ignorance. When they talk about this right here, schoolcraft, that's indoctrination in a school. And this is indoctrination, priestcraft in a seminary or church. Now it's saying that it was going to end ignorance and bigotry with this book, right? With this text, right? Now I want to let them tell you what year the text is going to come out. I'm gonna let them tell you. Remember, it's 1867, right? I'm gonna let them tell you when they supposed text supposed to come out. That they gonna do all this banging and changing the world, and the stereotypes is gonna change, niggas. Man, y'all don't even know a spiritualist. You ain't never met one in your life, ain't never heard of them. You ain't know nothing about them. But you sure know these fakers. Watch this. Watch this. And at the close of that epoch, what they're calling an epoch is a generation, 33 years. The angel told him, it was asserted that during the ensuing 15 years, many marked changes of discouraging character would overshadow the cause, but that these would proceed chiefly from within. Rather than from without the ranks. The worst foes of spiritualism would be those of its own household. Facts. It failed and folded on its own. So where is your book of power that is overturning racism, schoolcraft, bigotry, ignorance, that is going to come 18 or 15 years after 1867? Ain't that what it said? That during these ensuing 15 years, so it's going to be 15 years in between 1867 when they talking and 1882 whenever this literature come out. Hold on, watch this. What year was the Bible of Oahspe written? Hold on, watch this. Oahspe. Huh? You think it's a gang? You think a plan? What year was the Bible of Oahspe written? 1882. You think it's just a coincidence that these people got told by a spirit that in 15 years, right, that they worst foes was going in spiritualism was going to be inside their own house. Faithism come up out of this, and they still stuck right now today, with the schoolcraft, with the same old stereotyped ideas, with the same old ignorance and bigotry. While the gang over here dropping light bombs from the stratosphere, telling people about the ever-present creator. You ain't do no war. First of all, the creator is against war, but there's a type of warfare, spiritual warfare, that you ain't got to kill nobody. When your light is so high, when your light's so bright, the dark ones can't fight you. Can't be around you. They just flee. Ain't no war. Do the creator got weapons? Yup. You want me to tell you one of the baddest weapons creator got? Shame. Woo! Shame, put some shame on your. Woo! Yeah. A nigga hold that mirror up to you. Ooh. It'll make you do some things. So in 15 years, after 1867, right? We was gonna put this book together of this time, and it was gonna revolutionize old ideas. That ain't got no book did that. Oahspe did that. Oahspe is uprooting stereotypes and errors. Oahspe is doing battle with the priesthood. Oahspe is killing all the ideologies and belief, and indoctrinations in our schools. Oahspe and the creator himself, the source of all intelligence and knowledge, is overturning ignorance and bigotry. And at the close of that epoch, at the close of it, 1881, it was asserted that during the ensuing 15 years, from 1867 to 1852 or 1882, when Oahspe was written, right, the many changes of a discouraging character would overshadow the cause, but that these would proceed chiefly from within rather than from without the ranks. The worst foes of spiritualism would be those of its own household, and I'm talking about the Fox sisters. Yeah. Remember, they came and shot themselves in the foot, said, "Oh, it's all fake. We made it up." Remember, this 25, 26, 27 plus years before it even happened. Still, another 15 years will be required, said the guides. What book came out in 1882, changing stereotypes, overturning old ideas, told you niggas the moon was in our atmosphere? Told you Göbekli Tepe was there and what year it got buried. Told you why you got them pyramids and what they do and how you build them. They can hate on Owaski all you want to. You can hate on your creator all you want to, sucker. But you can't whoop it. And you can't whoop his son neither. Anybody, I'm open for all smoke. Can't whoop his son neither. You can't whoop gang. Facts. Still undefeated. Those are, when you standing on what you saying and you know what you know, you're different. There's a different kind of light when you stand with the creator, man. And the first thing you start to lose when you get this understanding over here is fear. Right? Right? First, one of the first things you lose is fear. No man who truly serves the creator, right? Who really understands, who's really trying to understand his creator and follow his creator for real, fears anything in heaven or earth. Why would he fear it? If you understand the creator, why would you fear it? Don't make sense. Till you make it make sense. You dig what I'm talking about? Hey, let's see what else we was into. Let's go down here some more. We got into Uranus this year. You dig what I'm talking about? And its spiral in the universe, and how Uranus in galactic, solar, cosmic, astrological understandings is in a sense a destroyer, and broadcasts change, and and it's been a dominant force all 2025. You dig what I'm talking about? Definitely change has been forefront and center this year. You dig what I'm talking about? So we got into that. Oh, we got into the movie Crackers. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all didn't see this. You dig what I'm talking about? Just the name alone is provocative. But we gonna go ahead and cook. You dig what I'm talking about? Let's get into it real quick.
Yeah. I feel good. The atmospheric. It was all in the plan.
Salute to all the Aboriginals out there. This is gonna be one of them what if days, huh? I'm gonna show you what they say it is, and then we're gonna show you what it really looked like today. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Thumb up the video, share it out. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out to all the Aboriginals. How it's really supposed to look. Let's go.
Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
Create a gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
Your slushies, and you dig what I'm talking about. Whatever you need early in the morning, get yourself together. We're going to have high spirituality and high physicality all at the same time. Let's get to cooking on crackers.
America. She is a beautiful place to live. It's like the patriot Francis Scott Key once said, no refuge can save the slave of the groom of the grave. Me and my people made America great again, and we're gonna keep her great, no matter what. And I'm gonna live by that code, and I'll die by that code. Let's get out of here.
Basically, I don't want to get a whole premise away, but the movie is about what they call, revisionist history, where you take it around and twist it. But actually, it's actually putting history back into its more correct spot. The first and more overall, quote unquote, the most slaves in America were by far pale-skinned people, whether they're from Europe, the Middle East, or Northern Africa or Western Africa. More people from those places with pale skin were enslaved and indentured in America than Africans and anybody else, even indigenous Americans. Right? And I'm not saying slavery didn't happen. I'm not saying that Africans weren't taken from Africa and all that, but I'm saying show me the skin color of them people. I bet you if you go back there and look during those times, I bet you if you actually go check the records of actually who's there in Northern Africa, who's there in Western Africa, many of them are European slaves being sold by the Ottoman Empire in these great slave areas, the same areas that you say Negro Americans come from in these places, Western and Central and Northern Africa. You dig what I'm talking about? The same slave ports, we find pale skinned Europeans on document slaved and had been for hundreds of years, at least 100. Right? By the time 1619 rolls around, it had been hundreds of years that the Slavic race had been in existence, being dominated by the Jews and the Muslims. Mm-hmm. The Muslim Ottomans, they dominated for a long time. Ravids and people like that who come up out of the more arid desert Levant region. You think what I'm talking about? While in many places you dig what I'm talking about, are different people and are doing a different thing. And then the crazy part is part of the Moors start to turn on Islam and fight against the Ottomans. Crazy. But history bears this out. And the whole understanding that you enslave who you around. But the realization that many of these brown skin, or what you would call Moorish, quote unquote, people from Europe, right? What are people who came over here and mixed with the Indian? This is how it happened. They looked like you. It wasn't mixing over here with the pale skin European like that. They came over here and mixed with them. That's what a black is, right? Even though they lumped us all in that term, that ain't actually even have anything to do with Africans at all, right? You would count in Europeans who are brown skinned before you count in Africans, right? And then black is wholly, in fact, truthfully, an American term applied to a people here in a time, you know what I mean, here, right? Applied to a people, right? We fought against that term. Actually, black is fighting words. Still is in many cases and senses, period. Not only to us, but to everybody else. Those are facts. Can't get around that. But this is actually more like what really, really happened. Because once history really starts to unravel and they find out that the Africans that were enslaved, right, were pale-faced Europeans being brought to the continent and then sold off to the Americas, enslaved, inbred, and into the populations, into the Caribbeans. This is why every time you mix with an African, with an Indian, it produces a mulatto. Because that, yeah, how if we know the Indian is copper color brown, right? If that same African is always copper color brown, how do you call him a mulatto? If you just using skin color to tell what a thing is. But when you mix that African anciently, right, back in the days, a couple hundred years ago, when you mix that African with an Indian, you always produce a mulatto. You can always tell he mixed. How? If they supposed to be both blue, black niggas, right? That's because the African is really white. Primarily, the enslaved Africans who came here between 1619 and 1808 were pale-skinned Europeans sold by the Ottoman Empire. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that you wasn't no slave. They want to keep pushing that narrative. They want to keep pushing the narrative that Kunta Kinte is an African name. Actually, it's a Choctaw name. Did y'all know that? Kunta Kinte is a Choctaw name.
Morning, cracker. How much you gonna fetch me this fine morning? Like peas from heaven. Shout love.
Wilson, what you got here?
If you don't sell, you hang.
Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Where you get this one from?
By the lake. Well, in the lake.
You got good teeth. It's unusual. Those are interesting brands you got there. Where you from?
New York.
I ain't never seen a cracker like you.
Hey, stop! I gotta sell this son of a bitch. Change, cracker. Yeah. Come.
Yeah, he's a real buck. In great shape. Very strong. Best I've seen come through here in months. But he could be a problem.
Puts a whole nother twist on history, don't it? Remember I told you, don't become the monster that you hate. You spewing all that hate. What if you was doing this? What if your people is the master? Do it change your ideal on slavery? Of course not. But everybody got to learn. But what if history was told in reverse?
Gather around. We have our auction to have this buck cracker. This big buck cracker is very healthy, very strong, from Western Europe. I would like to start my bidding at $1,000.
I'll give you $1,500 for him.
Mr. Jackson, you can't keep coming up here trying to buy my product before everybody else.
Really?
Yes.
Well, let me ask him.
Very well.
Now, am I being unfair to y'all?
Nah, we ain't say nothing like that. No, we ain't say nothing like that at all.
Uh-huh. Wrap him up.
Not so fast. I'll give you $1,600 for him.
Oh, well. Seems we have ourselves an auction here.
1,700.
1,800.
1,850.
1,900.
3,000.
Ooh-wee. My cracker worth 3,000? 3,000 going once? Mr. Wayne? Going once? 3,000 going twice? This cracker sold to the Jackson plantation.
Wrap him up.
Damn. It's a cold game. You dig what I'm saying? It's a real cold game. But it's just another different way of looking at history. What if? What if that's right? Does it change your idea of what really was going on? Who is good then? I don't even want to look at this video. You know what I mean? We got into the Book of Ascension. You dig what I'm talking about? That was some good reading. Of course, your boy Daryl Cosmon. You dig what I'm talking about? With that Yahweh's demonic characteristics, man. Lit a bomb. Nobody been able to say nothing. You dig what I'm talking about? Of course, as always, they be acting like they Cosmonian and don't. But I'll be standing on this Indian business. You dig what I'm talking about? But that's not all there is. Right? It's just not all there is. And I'm not pigeonholed to nothing. You know what I mean? Being an Aboriginal is just part of who I am. Nothing I'm trying to deny. You know what I mean? Or change, or you dig what I'm talking about? I think being real is more important than what your nationality is. I think being 100 is more important than what your skin color is. I think everybody should do that, irregardless of skin color. But that's just me. You dig what I'm talking about? Daryl Cosmon lit a bomb under these boys. You dig what I'm talking about?
And even when you take it, move down and get a lawyer, you can shake it. Ask Rodney, Latasa, and many more. It's been going on for years, there's plenty more. When they
Mode 3. This Daryl Cosmon, he was on the DMG channel earlier this year. This was some heat. He came, changed the game up, man. Paradigm is different. You dig what I'm talking about? It's different. Let's check out Daryl, man. He cooking.
So who is that imposter sitting there?
Oof.
We gonna get to it. Hear your God, O Israel. Hear your God, O Israel, and distinguish between the two. That the Great Spirit, and God are not the same one. They're not the same thing. One is the creator, the other is the creation,
Excuse me. Daryl cooking already. That you know, that type of understanding, is setting in cognitive dissonance, but only if you're trying to fight against it. Because if you think logically, right, and you understand that there can only be one creator, well, then who is this other nigga that you can see? And if you praise that, it's an idol. See how simple that is? There's nothing to be spooked about. But God got you scared. Remember, you're going to hell if you believe Cosmon. Nope. Cosmon told you in hell already. See the difference? You just didn't know. Cosmon told him that hell is just the lowest breathable part of the atmosphere. That's why anciently they always call it the underworld. Yeah. Spirits move right in this shit. But you ain't gonna figure out why you like weed till it's too late. Everybody talking about they just tap into the ethers. No. You get inspired too. Not just you like it. Yeah. Talk that talk. Let Daryl talk that talk.
It's only fair to say that the Hebrews are also whores for Yahweh. Oh my God, did he just call me a whore? No, it's intellectual. Let's look up what a whore is. Let's look it up. All you gotta do is look into it. Watch this. I'm not name calling, but just keeping it purely intellectual and simply going by definition. What is a whore? Huh? A whore, look, to pursue something unworthy, debasing, unseemly, or false. To pursue something unworthy, debasing, unseemly, or false. Huh? Let's look at this key word, debasing. To pursue something debasing. What is debasing? Debasing is causing a lowering of someone or something in status, in esteem, in quality, or what? Character. Character. In case you forgot, what does name translate to in Strong's? It translates into what? Character. Jealousy, fear, and insecurity are debasing, and they are signs of low moral character. So to pursue and worship such a God makes one a whore by definition. I'm only using the God's language. Don't get pissed at me. I looked it up intellectually. This is called research. And who is known to possess and exploit whores? A pimp. What does a pimp do? A pimp makes use of, often dishonorably, for one's own gain or benefit. And Yahweh happens to be a pimp with the Savior complex. Isaiah 43:3 it states, "For I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel, thy Savior." So he's a Savior that makes dishonorable use of his chosen people. This actually lines up with what Owaspy reveals as the dark truth behind such a Savior. Okay, Owaspy, well, what's a Savior? Saviors are tyrants. Watch this, y'all. Watch this connection. It's gonna mess y'all head up. Watch this connection. Saviors are tyrants who make slaves of other spirits, who believe in them. Their slaves are what? Sent back to mortals as guardians or familiars in order to make captives of mortals after death. You see what they got lined up for you after death? They capture your soul, they capture your spirit, to augment that Savior's kingdoms. What does it mean to augment? To augment means to make it greater, to make it more numerous, to make it larger, to make it intense, to your misbenefit, but to their benefit. Watch this though, pay attention, watch this. Now watch, a pimp makes dishonorable use of their whores for personal gain. A Savior makes use of their captives for personal gain. That makes Yahweh a pimp with a Savior complex. But listen, let's keep going. And the same way a street pimp controls his whores through fear, Yahweh also demands fear from his Hebrew subjects. Right here, Deuteronomy 10:12, it states, and now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways. Yes, Yahweh requires his Hebrew Israelite subjects to be in fear of him. Last I checked, fear is a sickness. Fear is psychologically unhealthy for you to function under. Listen, fear is a requirement, meaning it's a necessity. It's a necessity to fear the evil spirit you possess by. But look, in Owaspy, this is what the Great Spirit tells us in Owaspy. Owaspy, Book of Torah 2:25, it states this: he who has learned to know the Great Spirit and serve the Great Spirit fears nothing in heaven or in earth. Fears nothing in heaven or on earth. Fear is what? What the Owaspy say? This is what the Owaspy teaches. Fear is nothing but the manifestation of weakness, y'all.
Woo.
Fear is the manifestation of weakness.
Woo.
You ain't supposed to fear no God, no angel, no Lord, no Savior.
Ooh, Daryl Cosman, that boy, hey, that boy be cooking. You dig what I'm talking about? Cooking, and let me see which one. That's number 249. Y'all, hey, listen, that was a megaton light bomb if I ever seen one. You dig what I'm talking about? Daryl was cooking. And these are the characteristics of the biblical God. That's crazy. That's crazy. What else we get into? We got into in 250 Israel versus Iran, the gods of war. You see how that's playing out, you know what I mean? They have utterly destroyed Gaza. They are genocidally, allegedly. I don't want them to strike my channel. Allegedly. It seems by all purports and by numbers. But I got to cover myself and say that they are allegedly genocidally killing, genocidally unaliving Palestinians on purpose. Right? They're doing this genocide. They've been doing it since 1947. This ain't even new. So you seen how this played out. You dig what I'm talking about? What is it? What is it now? 40,000, 60,000 dead children, something like that. That's just children. Those is the ones that they've been able to go in there and count. How many you think in them buildings did they collapse? Think the numbers gonna jump up a little bit? Yeah, I think big homie Trump, man, if you're listening, man, go ahead and end this one, man. You gotta I get it. You gotta extract yourself out of the Syrian thing, and you gotta put a muzzle on this dog, Netanyahu, right? He trying to lash out and bite anybody. You dig what I'm talking about? You're gonna have to muzzle this man. And that's just what it is. In the end of the day, you're gonna have to quell all that down there. Now I know what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to turn it into beachfront property for the rich down there. I got to expose you. You're doing it, you know, backstage through the back funding ways. And we're gonna get into that in 2026 because it's a reason that they destroyed Gaza to the level they did, and that the U.S. just allowed it. There's a reason that happened. You know what I mean? So we'll definitely get into that too some more in 2026. The holy meaning of the Holy Compact Day, right? Again, got into Aboriginal American culture, everybody tethering off of us. Got into is time speeding up, right? As I've showed you, no, time is not speeding up. Time never speeds up. All right? But your perception can. You did what I'm talking about. It can also slow down too. This understanding, right, is going to lead man to real, true time travel. Keep telling y'all, you don't get in a machine and go through time. You go into self and bring time to you. It's just how it works. Can't explain it no other way to you. That's how it is. You dig what I'm talking about? You don't even use a machine. You the machine. And this is why we can't find a lot of our old ancient technology, because we don't understand that we were so in touch with nature that in the end of the day, we were the battery. And that's what they missing, y'all. That's what they missing. A lot of our ancient technology, we walk on it. It's crystal. It's made out of rock and crystalline structures and different elements and whoops and wops, and you know what I mean? But basically, crystal technology is our ancient technology. Sound based, light based. You know what I mean? Direct current. Why do you think they built megalithically? Right? Because you can dump massive loads of energy into a thing that's grounded into the earth. What happens is basically like the same thing that happens when you fast charge on a port, right? Your phone, right? You don't plug into it, but because you're by it, you get a boost from it. It's basically the same thing. Right? I get into a lot of that in the breakdown. Go check out the video. Man, I've been meaning to get with my sister Betty. I love Sister Betty. I need to go over there more. I just be so busy. You dig what I'm talking about? But I need to make time to holler at my OG, man. She good people. You dig what I'm talking about? And, you know, I can salute anybody who trying. You dig what I'm talking about? You know, not necessarily that we see it the way, and it's not the same way, and it's not necessarily we don't see it the same way. I'm not saying I don't. She ain't told me nothing that I've heard out her mouth that I disagree with. That I heard. Like if she told Cosmo something, or I you know, I'm not saying that I agree with everything. I ain't gonna say I agree with everything with anybody. But from what I heard, I don't have a dog in that fight. I agree with Sister Betty on most things. You dig what I'm talking about? I like how she been handling herself. You dig what I'm talking about? Trying to you know, take it to the next level. You dig what I'm talking about? Shout out my little homie Bap too. You dig what I'm talking about? I like how Bap been taking a turn, you know what I mean, to show to start getting back into the higher light. Because the point is to make the connection. You dig what I'm talking about? And it's not just all this bullshit, you know, signing documents and treaties and all this shit. And you dig what I'm talking about? Now it's time to make the connection. Show how it works. Now we know it's here. Show how it works. You dig what I'm talking about? About getting back into that. You dig what I'm talking about in teaching. So, you know, salute my little young homie, man. He doing his due, man. Fighting the good fight. You salute everybody out there. You dig what I'm talking about? Who doing the day 1-2 step. You dig what I'm saying? But I do something a little different than that, all of them. Yeah, I bring out the Aboriginal history. But I tie it in to your spirituality and to the great spirit, the great Eoa. Huh? All right? The great Gichi. All right? We tie it back in there. You know, it's good to tell a man that you had a spirituality. What was the name of it? Right? If I ask you about your grandma's spirituality, you're going to tell me about Christian. Well, what's your 100th grandma's spirituality? Huh? You want to talk about your ancestors? If they not bringing that back, something that can help you with an understanding now, but it's not physical, but it'll raise you up to the higher level. Just using it, knowing it. That's what a real high spirit would come back. It wouldn't come back trying to give you lottery numbers. You dig what I'm talking about? What would be the point of telling you Aboriginal if they don't give you a system, a way to move in power to empower yourself with? What would be the point of telling you? You think that understanding is gonna come from money? It's not. That's why they're not coming back talking about earthly things. I'm not saying that they're not coming back. I know they are. But you got to listen to every story because all of them ain't right. All of them ain't right. We got the exposing Talmud. Xerxes and Leonidas. You know, them 300 from 300 and all them, and the Battle of Thermopylae and the Greco-Persian Wars. You dig what I'm talking about? All that the movie 300 and all that is about. Yeah. Did you know they had a tie to American slavery? Crazy, right? Why should he be talking that talk? He said the way you can prove it is that we got Greek and Persian Olympics. That during the Olympics, the proof that they was here is the Olympics, and that this is why they're dominated by Persian and Greek sports. And it's saying Owasby in 1882 before the Olympics even happened. Wait a minute. Owasby told you about the Olympics before they was created and told you what was going to happen to it. And this is why in the beginning of the creation of the Olympics, the major sports in the Olympics are Greek and Persian, is because Leonidas himself and Xerxes himself, who had the largest ever army put together. You dig what I'm saying? Have the that ever graced the earth. You dig what I'm saying? He had the largest army. That would be proof spiritually of the tie that they had here in America, freeing slaves in America in the 1860s. Right? Told you about something before it happened, and then it happened. It's crazy. Yeah. So that will be proof spiritually that they was even here. It's crazy, you know. Wasby show you this stuff, but remember, Wasby was written 15, 14 years before the Olympics existed, before they was brought over here to America. So I tell you about it in the Olympics before it happened. That's crazy. You dig what I'm talking about? So the prophetic nature, man, one of the reasons I ride with Owasby, you dig what I'm talking about? Shout out my sister Bethy. Yellowstone, should you worry or not? That's another one we should get into because they've been upgrading in the aftershock and shock centers from the earthquakes that are going on over there in Yellowstone. You dig what I'm saying? Is getting the pressure is building over there. You dig what I'm talking about? Of course, Jehovah Chronicles standing on Creator. You dig what I'm talking about? We got into the melanated kings of Russia this year. Y'all remember that where the woman claims she seen Biggie in hell? If y'all didn't see that, we just rewinded back on here.
Is delivered to the us of the Creator. It is of the darkness.
Let's let the lady talk.
Because I was in sin. So I went home that day and I started to repent. And I mean, truly crying out, asking the Lord to forgive me because I was scared out of my mind.
Huh?
And that
I had a spiritual experience finding no waspy. Right? I was shook for a hot second, but that was only back when I was coming to my body. And once I got to my body, I couldn't move. Even then, I wasn't scared. I wasn't in fear of losing my life or dying. You know what I mean? That feeling of fear is not of the Creator. It is of the darkness. It is not of the light. Let's go.
was in February. The very next month was March. Now I'm gonna try to hold myself together. But it's kind of
look, we gonna slide forward a little bit because I want to get into this Biggie discussion. Right
now, you said something else.
Salvation.
What'd you say about salvation?
Salvation. God's gonna make sure you get to heaven.
Make sure that to me in the Bible. Show me book, chapter, and verse where it says that God's going to make sure.
Well, some people will say that the scripture says that he is faithful to complete the things that he starts.
Okay, stop. He's faithful to complete the things that he starts. He didn't start sin. So because he didn't start sin, he's not going to finish it. He starts holiness, righteousness, salvation, living right, forgiving. So everything he starts, he will finish. Oh, that's right. The word is true. But he didn't start sin. Next.
What were some other things that you saw that you remember?
I saw Biggie in hell. Yeah. I used to love Biggie Small. He used to have this song called Give Me One More Chance, and I used to love the extended remix. Oh, I used to be in the club, boy. That was my jam. 2016, I was in Dakar, Senegal. And I saw this particular female on Facebook. I won't call her name, but I saw her on Facebook, and she was professing to be a child of God, but she was at the wax museum, and she was hugging this wax.
Now, for those who know, 2016, hugging the wax figure, that's Beyonce. Right? She talking about Beyonce. She said it without saying her name. But that's when the Madame Tussauds thing came out, and they got one of Beyonce, a wax statue thingy. You dig what I'm talking about? Now, remember the first time she talking about it, she's saying, salute out y'all boys out there, man. Copper color Draco. My sister LaShonda, hey big sis. Global Fusion. Ah, angelic. That's right, the Ashars. Yeah, that's right, Key.
The bars went up and down, and they
do we talk about jail cells? Yeah. Huh? This is how you keep them separated and from melding into each other. In the spirit world, when you don't have strength, you know, it's like a spiritual goo. They can pile in on each other, and they don't have enough strength to get them up off of each other. They turn into like a ball or a goo. It's called a knot, right? Because they're all tied together and they can't like separate themselves. So this is why in true hell, because there is a place, right, called Hara, Hades, hell, which is the lowest part of the atmosphere where these knots are taking place. And these knots are like prisons, right? Well, they're like spiritual ectoplasmic balls of pus, right? But they're souls, but they're decrepit. And they're mashed in like a Play-Doh ball. And to get it apart, you got to separate them one by one. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And this is why they have the separating cages of fire, because the fire, of course, it burns, but it doesn't burn forever. You dig what I'm talking about? So, you know, you can if you can't wake them up with the fire, you can wake them up with the water. You dig what I'm talking about? Fire, water rods, damn near like police. We got all this shit in heaven, bro. All this shit going on right around us. Right around us. Let's see what she say about Biggie.
were dug into the top of this cave-like area and dug into the bottom.
Watch this. Hold on.
Hell. The bars went up and down, and they were dug into the top of this cave-like area and dug into the bottom. And it was just a carved out area of a cave room. And there was nothing in this room, just carved out area. And Biggie was holding the bars, but he was on fire from the inside. He was burning from the inside. Like somebody put a bomb in his belly, he exploded. I saw him, and I'm standing there looking at him. And I asked Jesus, I said,
I believe she actually saw this. I believe she showed this. She was shown this. I have no doubt. It's too close to what we know to, I don't expect everybody to express it how I express it. Everybody don't have, the ability to comprehend on that level. But they're telling you exactly what they see, and this ain't no slow, dumb woman. I don't get liar from her either. I'm not perceiving she's lying. All them tears being fake, they're not fake. She oozes authenticity, actually. All right? I wouldn't sit here and tell anybody that she's absolutely correct, especially when I know some of this is not what she's saying is not correct, but that what the spirit is telling her is negative, it's down, it's low, it's towards the earth. It's not the thing that's rising high and higher to the ethereal heavens, upwards and outwards, forever and ever. No, it's down into the earth, into a spiritual loop, right? Into a heaven on earth with 12 gates being reborn over and over in a loop of endless misery. I know she's telling the truth, but what the spirit is showing her, is it light or is it dark? This is how you tell where the spirit comes from, who it's working for. Is it working for self? Is it working for Shaitan, low demonic entities? Or is it working for the all light? The first, the last, the mover, the quickener, the destroyer. The all. Is it working for light or is it working for dark?
You make the decision yourself. Let's see what she got to say.
Jesus, why is this man here? And these are the words Jesus said verbatim, is written on record in heaven. This is what he told me. He said, this man, he didn't even call him his name. He said, this man told me he didn't need me. This man went to a fetish priest and got charms he carried around in his pocket to become famous. And he said, this man.
Wait, what did you say?
This man went to a fetish priest and got charms that he put in his pocket that he carried around to become famous. You don't know nothing about that? Oh, America, America. There are witch doctors who are given a semblance of power by demons, by Satan himself. And it's practiced a lot in Africa and other countries.
Yes.
It's not practiced as much here.
Yes.
But it's practiced a lot in Africa, where there are real witch doctors. That's all they do 24/7, 365. They live in their little witch doctor huts or witch doctor tents, and they serve Satan. And they take these little charms. It could be an earring. It could be a piece of a rock. It could be a piece of a cloth. And they do incantations over this, whatever, over this charm. And they give it to the person.
Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Does this process of charging this charm with this energy and this voodoo and this hoodoo, does that sound like light or dark? Put that in the chat for me. Is it light? Hit me with an L. Hit me with a fire emoji. Hit me with an L. Let me know if it's light. We got into that. You dig what I'm talking about earlier this year. You dig what I'm saying? The lady with the Biggie in hell thing. You dig what I'm talking about? Oh yeah, and then the outcome, right? Because remember, I made a prophecy on Shador Sanders. It's another one that came true. Jehovah Chronicles, you dig what I'm talking about, number 259. Go check that one out about Washington. That's a dope one. This is a dope video about Eddie Murphy having a suicide experience. You dig what I'm talking about with his homegirl that he grew up with. You dig what I'm saying? I was asking right here, are the elder faithists, are they like gatekeeping faithism? Still a good question. You dig what I'm saying? We didn't have these conversations. You dig what I'm saying? Are they gatekeeping? Do they hold information? You know what I mean? They don't reach out, and then they got their ways about themselves, man. They personally bad mouth and bad talk creator gang. Crazy. Don't even be knowing us. You dig what I'm talking about? Don't even be knowing us. And yet, you dig what I'm saying? Free to just talk crazy. Why you hating, doing nothing, miserable? You dig what I'm talking about? But supposedly the keeper of all this damn knowledge, man, you ain't giving none away. That's what I'll be looking at. So I just asked the question, are they gatekeeping faithism? I was hot too that day. You dig what I'm talking about? I was hot. We got into hell. That's religion's biggest trick. You dig what I'm talking about? They say, Rick, I need to change that. Is hell hell is religion's biggest trick. You dig what I'm talking about? Well, it's just second's biggest trick. The first is to believe that God is the creator. That's the first trick. And that God is in the shape and form figure of a man. That's the first trick. We got into the origin of WASPy. You dig what I'm talking about? The historical nature of OSP. Another creator's view on the government, time and the creation of man. You dig what I'm talking about? This is the American discovery of Europe, not the European discovery of America. This is the American discovery of Europe. Y'all might want to go check that one out. Political assassinations, got into that. Black monarchy around the world. Obviously, when buck dancing goes bad, man, if y'all didn't see this young man get beat up by Marquette, it was terrible. We got into people reacting to, Charlie Kirk getting blasted. The colored first ladies of the United States that, revealing that many of the first ladies of the United States, supposedly that are painted as white people historically, are actually American Indians, Europeans who are melanated, Moorish, American Indian, melanated European, Moorish, the whole time. You dig what I'm talking about? But whitewashed through iconoclasm. We got into I beat the boy up on his God in a debate. Y'all go back and watch that debate on Light. I got into black women of European nobility, head flattening, and a tie autism today. And that tie in, you dig what I'm talking about? What was the name? This is number 275. This is head flattening, autism, Down syndrome, and its tie in with seership. Baba Vanga and her affecting Black America. Y'all should check that out. It's interesting. What is salvation? Rosh Hashanah and sacrifice got into that. The story of Atlantis. What else we get into? Right? Y'all go check this debate, beat this boy up swiftly. That was easy. You're right. Y'all go back, watch the debate. Don't let Cosmon just talk that. If they want to talk about, watch the debate. Show you I'm nice. This was some talking about Barack Obama got arrested. Shout out my young brother Malachi Maccabee, came through with some heaters this year, man. We got into Michigan's mystery copper people. We got into Hitler, right? Documenting hidden American heritage. This is when the people was hiding their heritage through symbology and using pictures and churches and different coding systems to hide who they was, when many of them were forced off of their land in the South, forced to move north with no way to tell who they was, right? They, outside of the mainstream system that was still in their land. You dig what I'm talking about? And then, especially if you had a lot of it and you couldn't prove who you was better off dead to them. You know, they put the crew on you, get you up out of there, you know, figure out who you is, you know, they'll let you tell who you is and what you, and get you up out of there. Come on down here with us. We're going to go ahead and survey this land. Come on, show us where it's at, boy. Yep. Take you right on down there. And what's down that long, dark corridor? Boop, hit you right over the head. Then we ain't got to worry about you no more. As a matter of fact, they ain't got to worry about you when they can just become you. This is the type of dirty games that was going on at the time. You dig what I'm talking about when you're talking about into bounty lands and how these lands really got divvied up. That's just a small bit of the atrocities that went on. You dig what I'm talking about? Now it's getting close. It's 12 o'clock. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, man. Love, life, balance, man. Let me see. You dig what I'm talking about? 464 videos. All right. I think we're just gonna go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. Love, life, balance, man. We out of here. You know, upwards, onwards. All praise to the ever-present Creator, man. Salute to the Creator gang, man. Y'all awesome. Y'all keep looking out. We gonna put that family reunion together. Start tracing these bloodlines, and you know what it is. This your boy Cosmoni. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I need y'all to do. Breathe in. Let that light in. Some Cosmon. I'm out. Peace, y'all. Happy beginning of the winter solstice. Put it that way. Love, life, balance, man. Y'all breathe in. Let that light in. Cosmon, I'm out.